Damn, it's amazing how, perspectives can change over just the course of a few months or a few years. Cause I'm not gonna act like I was one of the first people talking about reparations, cause I definitely won. This has been a topic, conversation piece due to black people way before I was born. But what I will say is when I became familiar with what reparation was, and when I started to speak on it a little bit more in the circles that I'm familiar with, and in my little social media groups, I definitely had a lot of pushback on it. People who look just like me, people who close to me, people who I love, people who I don't give a fuck about, all the same telling me that reparations, just forget about it. They ain't never gonna give black folk no reparation. But it's a beautiful thing when you follow the black media, man, cause the black media, they ain't been wrong yet, man. Since I started following them, bro, I ain't gonna tell you no lie. And they been spearheading this shit. No matter who you think is at the forefront of this black empowerment movement, it's the black media. And I ain't talking about the old dead black media, your Roland Martins and all of them. I ain't talking about them. I'm talking about the real black media, that's the unapologetic black media that's really speaking in the interests of black people, okay? And it's the message has been so effective that you got people. It's actually a cool thing to be black, and it's actually a cool thing to stand up on your morals and how you feel about being black nowadays. It's to the point that celebrities, even though I never trust 100% what a celebrity got going on, and that's part of the reason why I'm doing this video. Don't let me front like I'm not a big fan of T.I. Clifford Harris, okay? From the motherfucking Dope Boys in the Trap to the music that he put out now. I still listen to T.I. So in no kind of way is this an attack on T.I. So I don't want anybody to get the wrong idea about that. But what I am finna do, he got an open letter to the Lords of London from the descendants of slaves, and it's demanding reparations. So he says. Now I actually seen him on an interview with the Breakfast Club yesterday, and I was just listening to him, and I decided that I wanted to visit the website, and I'm gonna read this. I'm gonna read this letter to you guys, and I'm gonna see exactly what I can get out of the letter. Okay, but it says as follow, and stick with me as long as you can. I very much appreciate it. This is your boy Ocean and Ghost. I come to tell the truth. That's all I'm gonna do every time you come back in here. So now let's get into this letter from T.I. Clifford Harris. All right, it says, Clifford Harris, as a representative of descendants of enslaved Africans, I'm placing Lords of London on notice. It has come to our attention that your company was built on the blood, sweat, and tears of our ancestors. We have seen you apologize for your shameful role in the transatlantic slave trade, but that simply is not enough. I must take direct aim at the fact that while many corporations and organizations like yours denounce past behavior, verbally accept accountability, and even share public sentiments of contrition, there never seems to be enough, if any, consideration or serious discussion around how to repay the descendants of African slaves. The African slave who was shaped the African slave who has shaped every aspect of the modern day global economy. The African slave who was yet to be made whole on the 400 years of broken promises. The African slave who was humiliated, terrorized, beaten, and broken, who until this very day is left to face long-term impact of systemic racism and oppression. So, it's a pretty thorough. Matter of fact, I'm gonna read. I'm gonna read the whole statement. Then, if you still around, I get into how I feel about it. But no, that was a decent first statement or whatever. The generational struggles that our economy faces stretch far beyond our individual households and into our community, onto our streets, and throughout our neighborhoods. It rears its ugly head the way that we are educated, insured, cared for, and even policed. This is this evidence is the fact that we are past the point of apologies. It should not come as a surprise that we are demanding demonstrable actions. Lord owes our people economic. Lord owes our people economic recompense, and we demand reparations now. The swell of protests and outcries over racial injustice has brought to light the worldwide pandemic of systemic racism lives and continues to oppress us, the descendants of the descendants. The pain, the degradation, and fear is something we live with every single day. We were once counted as 3/5 of a person in many years, and in many ways it still feels the same way. Your commitment to your commitment to owning up to your role is admirable, and we certainly want to acknowledge the sentiment that this is more than hundreds of other companies have done. More importantly, we note that you have continued to invest in programs to attract black and majority ethnic talent, review its artifacts to ensure that they were not racist, and support charities and organizations promote opportunity for black and minority ethnic people. This, however, is far too vague. We demand a specific call to action that includes, but is not limited to, direct reparations be made to the families of those who were ripped from their native lands and sold as property while your company profited from the whole shameful endeavor. Now, what I will say, T.I. been listening to the black media because it's black truth, TBA all inside of that statement, what I just read right there. I had to say that just so we can understand what's really going on. He been listening to these people, bro. Your commitment to reparations is an honorable one. But commitment without tangible, he been listening, bro. But commitment without tangible actions is merely lip service. Apologies will no longer suffice. We are seeking a clear path forward to specifically address the years of enslavement, systematic oppression, and institutional racism that we have endured since slavery. Given that it would not be true reparations if we did not address how we will be made whole, we demand a share of the profits made off the backs of our people, as well as accountability systems that will ensure our people equity and financial security. We suggest the following reparations and an open dialogue about your business practices should be altered to address long-standing injustices, including anti-black racism and economic injustices. Tempership, okay. Number one, I guess he's getting into his demand now. All right, number one, 10% ownership of Lloyd's of London be given to us, the descendants of African slaves. The ownership would be administered by a consortium that will be created, with those board of directors will consist of African American community leaders, attorneys, financial executives, and the like. The profits dividends will be distributed in a fair manner through guidelines set up which are mutually agreed upon by your company and the consortium. Board diversification. With at least one member of the 15 seat board being occupied by an African American. Which, anyway, let me keep going. Accurate annual tracking of reparations similar to your modern day slavery and human trafficking statement $1 million cash loan with 1% interest as a financial it shouldn't be no loan, but $1 million cash loan with 1% interest as a financial recompense made available to every African American adult once in their lifetime for the next 200 years, a time equivalent to 18th and 19th century, where your company financed slave ships and insured the human cargo. It should go without saying that the damage you and the others have caused is irreparable, and therefore our demands are in fact warranted. Given the sense of urgency, we feel that we can have a comprehensive reparation plan no later than the fall of 2020. We have waited long enough, and our community deserves real action and much more than empty apologies or platitudes. Please confirm the receipt of this letter no later than 10 business days from today, as we are eager to begin a healthy dialogue about how to best address these issues. T.I. Clifford motherfucking Harris on the behalf of the Descendants of Slaves. Okay. I'm not gonna sit up here and try to pick apart, because there was some good stuff in there. I definitely, like I said previously, don't put 100% of trust in no person, definitely no celebrity, but seem like T.I. trying to do something positive for the people, for the black people. So, of course, this plan got to be tweaked and measured and reformatted or whatever got to be done. But the main thing is more and more people are getting on board with this, and the momentum is building, Jack. Like that snowball effect, Jack. It's one of my favorite motherfucking examples, but I'm gonna give it again. Like this, once that snowball get to rolling downhill, man, we rolling downhill now, Jack. On the reparation, it's still a very small snow. We at the top of the hill, but we done made it to the top of the hill, and you feel me? We on our way back down now. We done fought all uphill for 400 years, and now we get a chance to come downhill a little bit. So more and more people are beginning to be on board with this reparation thing. More and more prominent figures, and it's forcing the conversations to be had and forcing people to not be so comfortable with shitting on Black America. So it's retribution to be paid, man. It's retribution to be paid, man. And this is the only formidable way to retribute for your sins. America, even though he wrote it to Lords of London or whoever the fuck. Okay? Whoever. That this shit, he wrote it to Lords of London. But America, whoever the fuck, we need our reparations, and the movement, all the shit, all the action in the street, all that shit, it ain't never gonna be settled until we rid of white supremacy. So that's how you know when reparations is being paid fully out. That's how you know when y'all done paying for reparations, when not you, white America, tell us that white supremacy is gone, but no, the person, the black man at the bottom of the barrel who ain't never had shit, when he tell you that it's white supremacy is dead and finito and gone, when that's the sentiment of the people at the bottom of Black America, then that's how you know that this shit over with. So I'm gonna end it like, I appreciate T.I. Clifford Harris. Like I said, I always been a fan of him ever since he dropped Dope Boys in the Trap. I have disagreed with him on some issues, but I don't want to be around a motherfucker that I done agreed every time with anyway. So much love and respect to T.I., man. I think you're a solid fella for even putting your celebrity on the line and to step up in the form of fashion that you willing to stand on your blackness. So salute to the king, man. King of the South, T.I. It's your motherfucking people, man. Ocean and Gold, man. Every time you come back, it's gonna be another dosage of the truth. This is something that I wanted to do, so I don't know how many people actually know about what T.I. got going on, but this is me trying to spread the word. So like I said, come back again and we'll do this shit again. I very much appreciate your time, and we out.